Good morning, boys and girls. So today is a very important day. Today our lesson topic revolves around one of your favorite things that you love to do. Can anyone take a guess what I'm talking about? Not quite, Charlie, not quite. We are actually going to talk about using your voice. And I'm sure all of you know how to do this. But I'm going to have you think a little deeper. Have any of you ever experienced a time in your life where you used your voice? This could be an experience that was positive for you, or it can be an experience that had a negative impact on you. Either one is totally fine. I just want to see you using and showing your tone of voice and how you made a difference. So to begin this lesson, I am going to put on a little show for you guys. So can I have a partner volunteer, please? Raise your hand. Okay, James, come on over. James, you'll be my partner today. I'm going to explain to you what we are going to do since I don't have anyone here with me. So James is going to pretend that he is whispering in someone else's ear. Whispering because he doesn't want someone else or anyone else to hear what he's saying to his friend. And I, being a witness of this, am going to stand up and use my voice and ask James what he is saying and why he can't just say it out loud. So I'm going to pretend to be James. Now I'm me. James, what are you speaking about? Why can't you say and share with the rest of us what you have to say? Well, I was just saying how Ryan really, I don't like the way that he talks. And I think it's really different from the way that I talk. And I don't really want to play with him. And I'm going to respond, well, that's not really kind. And what if someone said that about you? Well, I guess you're right. Maybe I can just, change the way that I think about things and just keep it to myself if it's not nice and it's gonna hurt someone's feelings. Okay, and the role play. So this shows a perfect example of how both people use their tone of voices. I stood up for my friend who was being talked badly about, Ryan, and James ended up changing his mind frame and realizing that what he was saying wasn't kind and his words were hurtful. So now that I have acted this out for you, I am going to write down on the whiteboard, this is my whiteboard, some emotions, some one sentence, phrases that popped out and stood out for you, where me or James was using their tone of voice. Okay, so Lily, yes, what emotions did you feel while watching this? Sad. Okay. Does anyone have a sentence that they would like to share of how they felt while watching this scene of me and James acting out? Okay, Jake. Yeah, you felt sad. You felt sad because James was using his voice in a very negative manner. He wasn't sharing with his friends what he was feeling, and instead he was trying to hide behind the whispering and figured this would be kinder than just saying it out loud, but in reality he used his voice in not a nice way. He should have maybe rerouted his train of thought and said, Ryan may be different than all of us, but he can still play with us. All right, any other emotions that you felt while watching this acting out scene? Confused, okay. All right, Tom, confused. Okay, so this will go on for 5 minutes, just having them brainstorm some words and parts of the scene that stood out to them. Okay, so now that that is done and you all can see these brainstorming ideas and emotions that you felt from watching me act out this personal experience that I actually lived, I'm going to have you pick a partner next to you at your table and brainstorm and exchange ideas with your partner on a time in your life where you experienced using your voice in a powerful way. This can be a time in your life where you stood up for your brother when you felt that, you know, your other sister was being mean to him, or it could be, another example could be a time where you wanted to speak up in class and you felt that your voice wouldn't be heard because your opinion maybe doesn't matter. But that's not true, right? Because everyone's opinion matters. So the bottom line of this lesson is for you and your partner to come up with an experience where you used your voice and you felt that your voice made a difference in this experience. I'm going to allow 15 minutes for this activity, and then when you guys are all done acting out, this classroom is going to be loud and voices are going to be thrown everywhere because everyone's going to be in different areas of the room acting out their personal experience. And once the 15 minutes is up, you guys will all come back to me as a class together. We will discuss some of our personal narrative stories and experiences that we have come up with. 15 minutes passes. Okay, so Susie and Jamie, it seems that you have your hand raised and you'd like to explain a story. Okay, take it away. The floor is yours. Wow, okay, Susie, I really like how you stood up for your sister when your brother was being not nice to him. Class, can you see how Susie used her tone of voice in a positive way? Do any of the sentences or words, emotions that we have on the whiteboard that we wrote out as a class go with Susie's story and experience? She felt sad using her voice, but she used it, and afterwards she felt great because she stood up for something that was meaningful to her. All right, so now that 5 of you have shared some of your experiences, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. I know sometimes it can be hard to speak in front of others, but that is what our classroom is all about, sharing our stories, using our voices, and all of our friends giving the respect to one another that is needed and deserved. So next we're gonna fill out a worksheet, and this worksheet is titled One Can Make a Difference. So I'm going to have you as a group come up with a time in this classroom, our classroom, Miss Johnson's 4th grade classroom, where you made a difference. This can be with me, maybe you made a difference and said something to me that made you feel like you used your voice and you felt that you were being heard, or a time in the class that you, talked with another classmate. Just how you guys came up with a personal experience, but in school now, of using your voice and how this impacted you. Okay, and that will be our exit ticket and end of lesson. So when you are done filling out the worksheet, you can come give it to me and we can move on to math. Okay, I'm just gonna show the worksheet that I would use for them. everyone can make a difference. One thing I can do at school that could make a difference is, and they can circle which character they felt they would most likely represent, or they can create their own version of themselves. Okay, so that is my trait of voice mini lesson. Thank you.